Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is time for Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on Thursday morning. It's October 10th. My name's Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us. Sue Tessier-McKenzie from the Blackstone Valley Call and Times has joined us as well. Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
And attorney Bob Lauder with his hand still in the, what do you call that thing, by a splint of some sort?
I have no idea what the actual name for it is, but it comes in handy when you're trying to,
hit people?
Yeah, why not?
Because it doesn't
Make
doesn't
people
hurt
get
you.
out of your way.
As Bob didn't have an
I'm
accident.
trying to get a lot of sympathy for it as well.
Is it working?
No,
not yet.
Little old lady's opened the door for me, but that's about it.
Bob had a little surgery done on his hand, and that's what he gets to use. How much longer do you have to be in this contraption?
During the night for 6 months. During the daytime, a few more weeks maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. All right. This segment of the Coffee Ann program is sponsored by the Blackstone Valley Call and Times. So, Sue, you want to throw something together real quick and and say something nice about the paper?
Good morning, everybody.
Get a caught deer in the headlights over there.
Right. Good morning, everybody. As we know, I talk about all the time, we've moved. People still going to the old building.
Hello.
It's that will never change.
It won't.
Apparently.
It won't. Yeah.
But we've got some articles today in the paper about Autumn Fest and things coming along quite well there, which many of you do attend the Autumn Fest, whether it's for entertainment, vendors, or the food, or a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. Autumn Fest is a great place to be. And if you're looking for circulation, looking for delivery, looking to be a new customer with delivery, give me a call at 487-4136, or you can call Christina at 767-8503.
All right, Sue, thank you very much. We're going to hold off.
Quick question for you.
Yes, Bob.
Last year at Autumn Fest, we got a photograph of you with Elvis. Who are you going to be with this year?
Well, I could go with Elvis again. Elvis is coming back, but I haven't decided yet, so we'll have to see.
Okay, you're going to be there.
Oh, sure.
And the ON van is going to be there.
The truck will be down there, and I'll be up. My big job at Autumn Fest is to introduce the acts on the stage. So.
Whoa, this is like Ed
Sullivan. Yeah, so I get front row view of all the acts.
Ed Sullivan.
Well, I do, but so yeah, it'll be great. We always, the weather looks fantastic, so we invite everyone to come on down.
Great,
brand new
brand new stage. Brand new stage.
And if you look at the front page of today's Call and Times, it's in the. You can see Stephanie and Steve there.
Yep.
They're from the Autumn Fest Steering Committee. Behind them is the new stage, which is it's all concrete. The stage that was there before was made of wood. It was warped like crazy. Whenever it rained, it collected water as opposed to receding the water. It just the massive puddles would form, and it was a little it was mostly dangerous for the dancers.
I was just going to say that. I wonder how this is going to work out though, because concrete doesn't absorb water.
But maybe they'll bring their own floor.
Right.
And say it's a concrete floor this year. I don't know how it's going to work well with your dancers. Maybe you could bring something. So we'll have to see, because I know Krylo Dance Studio will be there on Saturday to dance. So we'll see how they like it this year.
Good.
It shouldn't be slippery.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, because concrete can also ruin, and anybody that's doing tap can ruin.
They don't normally do tap, which is good. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. But we'll have to see what they come up with. Going to roll the punches. So we look forward to that, and things are looking good. We're going to hold off talking about the hurricane for a little bit. We're hoping we're going to be joined at 8:30 by Dan Rondo again, who's right in the middle of it as it came across shore. He does live in Tampa. He evacuated to a town called Brandon, which is inland. So we'll have to see how things are from his perspective around 8:30 this morning. So I wanted to bring this up because we talked about it yesterday, and it's. Two moms in North Providence are facing disorderly conduct charges because they got into a fight at a Pee Wee football game in the stands. Their family members are playing. There's no fight in the field. There's a fight in the stands between the moms. So anyway, and we were talking about the last couple of days here on Coffee, and we basically I came up with the only way to stop this is is to ban parents from coming to the games. If you're not there, you can't fight. And that's not fair to the people that behave correctly.
Right.
But it will put a stop to the fighting.
If you run that over to the Patriots, they're going to be in an empty stadium. There's not a whole lot of,
doesn't work with the pros. We're talking about the kids here. So the league president in North Providence, Josh Johnson, issued a statement saying there's no place in youth sports for disgusting adult behavior. Absolutely.
Right.
He said in future, if any parent violates the code of conduct, will have their child suspended for the next game. So not only will it affect you, it affects your kid. So that'll make you stand up and...
What was the fight about? Was it actually
it's
about
funny.
the game, or was
Yes, it's always about what's
well,
happening on the field.
Hey. When
Normally.
two women are fighting in a stadium, it could have been
About anything?
It could have been all about,
Haircut?
no,
It's an ugly coat?
baby daddy and all that good
Oh,
stuff.
well, all right. It
That's
wasn't
why
about that.
I asked.
The two are playing have family members on each side of on both teams.
Opposing teams.
Yep. From what I've read, one of the people, it does say moms, but I thought I read that one of them was an aunt, was there to see her nephew play. The other woman is a coach's wife, and their son plays on the other team. Now that son, so it's Pee Wee football. So sometimes the kids are good size, and some of the ones are smaller because kids grow at different rates.
Right.
And so the bigger kid fell on the smaller kid, the one that the aunt was there to see. And from what I hear, is the smaller kid broke his arm when he fell.
oh, geez.
Okay, it's a contact sport, and things happen. So now the aunt is yelling at the wife, saying that you're targeting my son, and he's a big bully, and blah, blah, blah. And the other one's saying, no, it's part of the game. And then they have words, and they go back and forth, and now they're throwing fists at each other. And so when that happens, the game has to stop. There's a ruckus in the stands.
Of course.
And then the police are called. And so it just keeps building on top of each other, one bad thing after another. And so they're facing disorderly conduct charges. I guess not assault charges. Maybe those were
when I
dropped,
was a kid,
but-
nobody ever got into fights over the stamp club.
No,
No.
that's my stamp. That's my George Washington.
You want to get
You
into
stole
a
it
fight,
from me.
You want to get into a fight at a stamp club? You lick the other guy's stamp.
Put it on the table. Yeah, now try getting it off. Should have done that, Bob. Yeah, that's funny. All right, so that's what they're going to do. If you don't behave yourself, we're suspending your kid, and boy, your kid won't be happy with you.
Right.
That's the issue. So, all right. Other things going on. The Rhode Island Blood Center is it's an urgent need for donations because they can only hold blood for a couple of days, and then it's bad. They either use it or we got to throw it away. So they're always looking for new donations.
Well, a big part of the problem right now, because I get calls maybe twice a week to
Yeah.
go give blood because I have a bit of a rarer blood than basic, and you have to make appointments.
Yeah.
You can't walk in anymore. You would try, back in
Used
the
to be
day.
the blood center. The blood center's still on Diamond Hill Road, isn't it?
You can try to walk in, but
And
there's no
they say-
guarantee.
Okay.
But which is the plan? It's Diamond Hill Road. I
Yeah.
didn't know there was one there, but that's a big part of the problem. People would be driving home from work or whatever, and they'd see the trucks at a
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts or wherever
bus,
they saw
yeah.
them, and I've been known to just pull in and give blood, but they don't do that anymore. You have to have appointments no matter where you go. So I'm sure that's causing a problem because it's causing
Well-
a problem for me.
Yep. The RIBC, the Rhode Island Blood Center, says the severe weather down in Florida because of the two hurricanes is causing a strain on the nationwide blood supply, and this could last for weeks because blood centers closing and blood drives being canceled, especially even down there. So they're hoping that the blood center will get support from up here. Stands ready to provide additional aid as needed. RIBC is calling on local residents to donate to help meet the need for blood during this critical time. So I don't know if they want you to call them and make an appointment or just
Yeah, that's what
find a
they
blood
want.
drive or just pop on in and hope you can
But,
take me. I don't know if there's a shortage of phlebotomists out there. I don't know.
I can tell you my blood bank story.
All right.
The parish across the street from me, not the present parish, but the one that was there before, was having a blood drive, and the spouse of the pastor came across and asked if I wanted to go give blood, And I was sort of hesitant because I had never done it before. And she said, "You're scared."
You're scared.
I'm not going to let that go by. So I went across. It was completely painless.
Well, it is.
And I gave blood for about 30 years until I take a medication now which interferes
can't,
with it, and
yeah.
they won't take my blood anymore. But it was always painless. It didn't take very long. There were usually nice people there to talk to while they're doing it.
And it's
It
free juice and cookies afterwards.
Right?
Free juice and
I like the
cookies.
Lorna Dunes.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It was painless, and it didn't take that long, and you felt good about it.
Sure. It
And
always-
I wasn't scared.
You weren't scared. Well, I'm sure you were until they got the needle in you.
Didn't hurt.
Well, it doesn't.
No.
No.
That
And they-
slight little. Come on.
Like when they always draw blood.
You hurt
kind of
yourself
thing.
more when you stub your toe on the couch or the living room table.
They always say, be a 7-minute hero. It really only, to fill up the bag for 1 pint of blood only takes 7 minutes.
Well, I never watched that part.
I think that part's the coolest part, and they don't want you to watch. I said that's the fun part.
You're just weird, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing the
Funny,
No,
if you watch like medical shows and you watch reality medical shows. Here's an operation.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch operations like all day, and I think that's just so cool to watch that. But like slasher movies and stuff like that, no.
Yeah,
that bothers me.
That's I'm not.
But
no.
real operations, and there's blood in that, real blood too. That's like there's no issues.
I admire my wife. She was an ER nurse for
Oh,
years.
she must have seen
And
everything.
Nothing bothers her
Nothing
like
bothers
that.
her. Okay.
I see a little bit of blood. I'm not a happy person.
But it is easy to donate. You do got to be, I think it's 17.
Yeah, they
but
did
with a
drop
parent's
the
permission.
age. It was higher. Well, because now I've heard of blood drives in schools.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So, and they're looking for blood. If you could donate, that's a way of helping out. All right, down in Pawtucket, they are the recipients of 22 new zero-emission electric buses
Great.
for the school kids. So they'll be able to ride in style and comfort. And that's all thanks to our federal funds from the EPA. Pawtucket has received just over $7.6 million in rebate funding to purchase the buses through the Clean School Bus Program. Senator Jack Reed says the transition to electric vehicles will have a broader implications beyond schools, and reducing reliance on oil and gas could also impact global energy markets. So,
Now, Pawtucket sounds as though they actually operate the school bus systems on the municipal budget, as opposed to places like Woonsocket, which I think rent the buses from a commercial company.
okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know.
It sounds that way. I'm not,
right, no, I know,
have no
I
real
know what you're
knowledge.
saying. You're not naming a company.
Yeah.
You're
No.
naming
It
the
doesn't. It
city
doesn't
of
say.
Pawtucket.
All I remember, because that's where my mom grew up in Pawtucket, and went to Tolman High before it was called Tolman High, and her to get to school, basically took the RIPTA bus. It wasn't called RIPTA back then, but that's if you
United
want,
Transit Company.
maybe that was it. If you want, if she didn't want to walk to school, she had to take public transportation to get to there were no school buses.
Some of us walked.
Well,
And
it
the
would have been.
famous story,
I know where
uphill
she.
both ways.
Yes.
In the
In the
snow.
snow, yeah.
the snow.
I know where she grew up in Pawtucket, and I know where Tolman is, and that would have been a very long walk,
Okay.
miles and miles and miles.
Oh,
So-
all right.
So yeah, she had to take the bus because she always told me that she had to run down this hill to get to get to the bottom of the hill by this certain time because that's when the bus came, and if she didn't, she was walking because there wasn't another bus coming. So we'll see
back-
when these come
Back
to,
in the day,
to fruition.
Woonsocket's only 8 square miles. But back in the
Right.
day, they did not have transportation to the high school or the junior high school over on Villanova.
No,
You walked.
you walked.
Yes.
Okay. The way it works now, Massachusetts is different, and the way they do their school bus situation. But my kids, the way it worked is if you lived within 2 miles of the school, you walked. We were like 2.7.
You lucky
We
guys.
just outside. Well, not really, because K through 6, it was free. 7 to 12, yet we had to pay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not that it was a lot of money. It was
Right.
it was a buck a day, $180, 50 cents each way, kind of thing. So, and how it usually worked out is we paid for like the first 7th grade, 8th grade, but then when you got to high school, the kids didn't want to take the bus anymore, so mom and dad took them to school. So, but we save money.
Here's
So
a
you
buck,
want to
you're
look
on
that
your
way.
own.
I wish you could have done it that way. Just give $1 to the bus driver. That would have been great.
Here's a buck, you're on your own, kid.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way. But, Sue, time for a second message from the Blackstone Valley Call-in Times, please.
Okay, well, we are approaching the deadline. Actually, we are pretty much at deadline tomorrow to participate in the Thank You for Voting Us one of the best in the Blackstone Valley. So the deadline is tomorrow. I have been reaching out via phone calls, emails, in-person visits. If anybody has any questions as to whether you are one of the top 3, please call my cell phone, 487-4136. I may not have been able to get to you because there are hundreds of people I need to contact. Again, if you have any questions, if you are one of the top 3, call my cell phone at 401-487-4136.
All right, Sue, thanks. And Coffee and will continue. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Kitchen trends for 2024 want to make your cooking space feel more special. From textured tiles to rounded stone islands to porcelain countertops, Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center can show you these and more. Visit CumberlandKitchen.com or stop in and see Kevin and his team at their showroom in the McDonald's Plaza on Mendon Road, Cumberland, right off Route 295. Turning a house into a home, your home, Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center. The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with RE/MAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
It's Coffee and here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here, along with Bob Lauder, Sue Tessier, McKenzie. So on top of the new electric school buses coming to Pawtucket, carrying on to that, Providence, the city of Providence, has decided we are not going to allow any new gas stations. We have, not that they have enough, but they're going to go down the lane of, no, we want to have the new electric vehicles are coming. We want to have charging stations instead. So they passed an amendment that would prohibit the construction of new gas stations. They voted last night on the amendment that was introduced by Senior Deputy Majority Leader John Gonzalez to support the plan to move toward the use of hybrid and electric vehicles. So there.
I
So,
would not support that kind of a position. I think that,
me either.
no, although I don't know how many new gasoline stations are being proposed in any community
Well, I don't
right
know.
now.
Yeah.
But to just arbitrarily say we cannot have any more seems very short-sighted.
So who pays? Like you have a gas station, I go in and fill my tank and pay somebody. Who pays for the electric to charge the car?
Well, you will.
Well, how do you pay for electric to charge your car?
It's
And
going to be,
credit card,
you're
I
going to have to
think.
put in a credit card or something.
Is that what they
yes.
do now? Because I've never, I've looked at them trying to figure
I
it
don't
out.
know.
I
'cause
don't think they
I
do
haven't
it
pulled
now.
in to look because there's so few.
So if you have 5 charging stations, they could be tied up for hours.
Yes, they could. That's the real issue with electric cars. Here's your homework then, Sue. Take a drive over to Anchor Subaru.
Yep.
I know there's electric charging stations there,
Yes.
and just take a look, and see how do I pay for this.
Yeah.
And that's a real concern. And I think I just read the other day that the Ford Motor Company, because they want you to move towards electric vehicles, they're now going to give you, if you buy one of their cars, they're now going to give you your charging station to use at your house. Before you had to buy it, hook it up to your house or however it works. But and that was a bit of an expense right there. But now they're going to give you this $300 device. I think that's
Why
what it
would
is.
You don't think they're building that into the price of,
course-
the vehicle?
of course they
They
are.
aren't giving.
But
any-
know.
why would
I know.
they give you that? I'm sorry.
'Cause they can say we're giving
it's
it
like
to
I
you.
bought
Yeah.
an electric heater, but then I had to buy the cord to make it
To plug
work.
it in, yeah.
I don't get it. I just
Because they can say, we're giving this to you, and Chevy and GM can't. Because they're not giving it to you. At least not, they haven't said so
You don't think
yet,
their
so.
advertising department is working on this?
Of course they are.
Right?
Okay.
What's Ford doing? Oh, no, well, we got to do something similar. So now they're working on it, but Ford came out with it first.
Okay.
So yeah. And I have seen other charging stations. The last real big one I saw was in New Hampshire, right on Route 93, right in Hooksett. It's where the big rest area is.
I know exactly what you mean.
Huge
Yep.
gas station. They've also got charging stations for your electric vehicle there too. But I've never really taken a look. I just assume, Bob, like you said, you got to pay for it with a credit card. And yeah, the problem is charging it up because you're not in 5 minutes in and out.
Right.
You're up there 20 minutes, half an hour in and out, depending on how much you have to charge your battery. So,
I will tell you
It's a concern.
another story from the distant past.
oh, good. How
Oh,
much you
yeah,
had to feed?
I see
how much
your
you had to feed?
That
enthusiasm now.
obviously
How much you
doesn't
had to-
include
yeah.
electric vehicles.
How much you had to feed your horse?
Back when my mom was a child, my grandfather had purchased a Stanley Steamer car. Stanley Steamer cars ran
Wow.
on kerosene instead of gasoline.
All right.
And she would tell stories about how they would drive down to the Cape. They would have to stop at hardware stores to purchase kerosene
Kerosene.
to put in the car, even though there was gasoline stations along the way.
How much was kerosene back in the day?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing cheaper than gas if your dad bought a
My
kerosene.
grandfather, not my
your
dad.
grandfather.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm guessing it was cheaper, but who knows?
Well, he was a plumber. He was intrigued by the steam part of the engine.
Oh, well, okay. I was always told that my grandfather, who I never met, passed away before I was born, when he bought gas, and of course, gas back then, now, we're talking in the 40s and like that.
Yeah.
Gas was like 25 cents a gallon, all right? My mother always said, it was her father, he never put more than 50 cents worth of gas in the car. He would never fill the whole thing up. It was always just his 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Put in as much as 50 cents. We'll take it. Okay, well, now we keep driving. And then when we get down towards E again, throw in another 50 cents. He would never pay more than 50 cents for gas
Wow.
at a time.
When I started driving in 1964, the Merritt station on Social Street, the gas was 28 cents a gallon.
Wow.
And if you bought more than 8 gallons, you got a little steak knife to go with it.
Oh,
I
nice.
still have those at home.
Did you get a whole set?
Over the period of time.
No, oh, great.
Giving away steak knives no longer.
No, that's not a good idea. All right, law question for Bob. Sorry, it's a criminal thing. You may remember this case that took place a couple of years ago. It's up in Massachusetts. Philip Chisholm is asking the Massachusetts state's highest court to dismiss his first-degree murder conviction for killing his teacher. Chisholm was 14 years old in 2013, so we're going back almost 10 years now. When he followed and this took place in Danvers.
11 years.
Sorry, math was not my
I know,
strong
I'm
suit.
looking at you like, wait a minute, I have to stop before
No,
I...
2013 to 2023, that's 10. And it was
It's
2024, so
So
it's 11.
That's
what-
you said 10. Almost 10 years is what you
Almost.
said.
All right, 11.
Good thing he's not doing
Anyway,
accounting for the station.
oh, keep the numbers away from me. This took place at Danvers High School. So he was 14 at the time. He followed his teacher into a bathroom. He raped her and killed her. Now, Chisholm will be eligible for parole when he's 54. 40 years from now. Did I do that right? He's 14 now.
He was 14 at the time of
He was 14 then.
Then. You're right. He's 24
Yeah,
now.
you do.
Holy
Let's
cow.
try this again. The kid was 14. He did that. And now
Jeez. Now he's
24 or 25, depending on
Right.
when his birthday is.
So he's got another 30 years to go. Yikes. Anyway, his lawyers claim the trial judge's exclusion of a brain scan of Chisholm violated his rights, as it would have indicated he suffered from a psychotic disorder. Okay. What do you think, Bob? Does it carry any weight? This asking of a new well, they're asking for his conviction to be thrown out, dismiss the first-degree murder charge. That's pretty big.
Because they wouldn't let him get the brain scan? Is
No,
that
they got the brain scan. They wouldn't
Okay.
let it into
admissible evidence?
court evidence. Yeah.
There's a case that goes back to the 1840s, which started the entire concept of lack of diminished ability to
Okay.
make decisions. It was a case where, and I can't remember the name of it, Pendleton, I think, where someone was trying to assassinate the Prime Minister of Britain and killed somebody else instead and claimed that he was insane at the time. There may be some degree of strength to that, especially since a number of states have issued, legislation which says that when you have a minor who has been convicted of a very serious crime that would involve life penalties, that it can be reviewed again as the child becomes older.
Okay.
So there may be a chance on it.
Okay. We'll see what they do over there in Massachusetts on this deal. I guess maybe we don't let him out of prison. Maybe we get a new trial.
Oh, I don't think they'll let him out of prison without a new trial.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, that's what they're looking for. Let's get rid of the whole conviction
No.
and let him out.
No, the best I would see was to have a new trial on this.
Yeah.
They'll be allowed to bring in this kind of a defense to it. But I don't think they're just going to suddenly open the jail doors and say, go off and you're on your own.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
He
All right.
wouldn't get too far, I don't think.
No.
Just saying.
All right. And Brown University has voted they will not divest from 10 companies that are invested in Israel. That's what all those protests were about last spring, especially at Brown. We want you to stop doing this. And so they finally decided no. The decision supports a recommendation from the university's advisory committee on university resource management following student protests called to divest from companies that facilitate the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory. The corporation sent a letter to the campus saying they found that the university has no direct investments in any of the companies targeted for divestment, and any indirect exposure in the companies is so small that it could not be directly responsible for social harm. In a statement, the Brown Divest Coalition says the university's decision is a moral and ethical failure of unimaginable magnitude. That's pretty strong.
I would rely on the statement of the university that what we do have as investments there is minimal at best.
Yeah,
And
it will do no harm.
I would also think that they probably have financial advisors who invest their funds on their own. I doubt if the trustees personally know, yes, we're invested in a particular company that's having an influence in the Israeli government, and the investments that they're making in companies that are involved in Israel, if they cash them in and say, we're not going to invest in them anymore, it's not going to hurt the company. The company is probably going to have the stock, which is, having been sold the first time, has no real reflection on the company itself. It'll be sold to somebody else. So it's not going to punish the companies for working with Israel. It's merely a appearance on their records that we're not supporting it.
And my statement to the protesters, shut up. Go to school, get your education, get your degree, leave Brown University, and then go try to change the world. Do not worry about what Brown is doing and how they're making money.
Well, maybe yes and maybe no. I went to school in the 60s, and we were still doing the desegregation issues, and it was important to have people out there speaking about it and taking action, and not just...
That was happening in this country.
Yes.
This is happening way over there.
Okay, but I'm not in the group that says to the kids, just shut up and be quiet and study.
Just go to class.
That's because you're paying for your daughter to be in school.
That's right.
Okay. I was in school and my parents were paying, so it was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program and take a look at the weather forecast right now, being brought to you by Bank of America.
Sunny skies today with a high of 58 degrees and a breeze from the northwest. Tonight, clear skies, overnight low of 39 degrees. Friday's weather, sunshine and a high of 64. Saturday, sunny and 70. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 60. Columbus Day, Monday, partly sunny and 62. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 56. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high near 57.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio in the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies and 49 degrees. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A., copyright 2024.
Get hands-on with our creative crafts and learn how to create beautiful charcuterie bouquets that will wow your friends and family at the Honey Shop Academy, in the same building as the famous Honey Shop store next to Navigant Credit Union on Park Avenue. Did you ever want to learn about foraging for mushroom hunting? Our expert instructors will guide you through the wonders of nature, dive into the fascinating world of beekeeping, herbal medicine, permaculture, and so much more. With our horticultural gardening methods, you'll cultivate the skills to grow a thriving garden right at home. Don't miss out on this opportunity to enrich your life, make new friends, and explore your passions. Call the Honey Shop Academy today at the Honey Shop. Today, 401-766-1488 to learn about our upcoming classes or to schedule your own private group session at the Honey Shop Academy at the Honey Shop store.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at WoonsocketRadio.com.
It's Coffee and on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Sue Tessier McKenzie and Bob Lauder. And Bob, it is time for a first message from your law office. We can go with a recorded message if you like.
Well, Sue has made me very, very encouraged to be able to do this on my own.
Alrighty.
Okay. I left all the commercials back at the office this morning when I was trying to come here early. This is Bob Lauder. I'd like to talk with you this morning about several of the things that you should consider in estate planning. A few weeks ago, I talked with you about the grim possibility of writing your own obituary, just to make sure that when it does appear in the newspaper, it includes all of the good things that you want to have recorded for posterity and doesn't include the stuff that you don't want people to remember, such as stealing candy when you were 6 years old from the local store. I'd like to go a little bit further and suggest something that is far more important, and that is that you should prepare an identification of your relatives with their points of contact, sort of a family tree. If you have an estate that ends up in probate, either because you did not have a will or because you did have a will, the forms for the state of Rhode Island require that you identify all of the relatives that would likely to inherit in the event that you did not have a will. This means that you have to identify, or your heirs would have to identify, who is related to you. And it'd be the first line of relationship, such as a sibling, or a niece or a nephew, or your own children. But in the absence of having any siblings and having children of your own, it then goes out to cousins and things like that. You are the only one who knows this information well. In the absence of your preparing a family tree for someone in the future to be able to look at when they're preparing the documents, it's going to require hiring a genealogical survey company, and that's going to be expensive and time-consuming. So my recommendation today is sit down, pencil, paper, and write out the family tree that you have. Who are your cousins? What are their names and addresses? What are their points of contact? just so that in the future it's going to be available for your heirs. Thank you very much.
All right, Bob.
Very
Very
good,
good.
Bob.
What's your
Very
phone number
good.
again?
Phone number is 762-4550, and the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much. Now,
I'm not going to
normally-
replacing Sue, though, am I?
No, you're not.
No.
All right. Now, normally we've been talking with Dan Rondo from Travel Advisors International. He's down in the Tampa, Florida area.
Whoa.
We've talked to him the last couple of mornings at about this time, and he was supposed to call in today, and he has not called in, which just leads me to believe that his
hope he's okay.
cell service must be down wherever he is. And we hope he's okay as well. So hopefully Dan can give us a call tomorrow and let us know. Unless he calls in later today, I do see the phone ringing now. Maybe that's him. And so he's just having a little trouble getting a hold of his, getting the cell service and getting, a lot of people using the cell phones down there. So we'll wait to see if that's Dan on the phone right now. Talking about college tuition, for anybody that's thinking about it, going up to college next year, the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts is waiving tuition for students from families earning less than $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Nice.
That's great.
It's a major expansion of their financial aid. Tuition at the Holy Cross, by the way, is $63,000 a year.
Wow.
Right.
Does that include dormitories? And
No, that's just tuition.
God.
It rises to $83,000 when room, board, and the meal plan are added.
Wubba.
So yeah, yeah, so yeah, when they say when they say they're going to waive tuition, yeah, they're going to waive the $63,000, but you're still going to have to come up with $20,000 to live there and eat. Keep that in mind. So, is that Dan on the line? No, it's not. Okay, well, we won't go to the phone then.
I remember the quality of food in the cafeteria when I was going to school. I don't think I
gotten
would have
better.
paid. It sure better have gotten better.
Officials at the Jesuit-run school say the expansion will make sure talented students from all backgrounds can access a Holy Cross education.
That is very generous on the part of the administration, but that is
Yeah.
phenomenal for expenses to go to school.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's and they're a private school, and they're right in line with other private schools, unfortunately. Because I was just looking at this, last year, and my daughter was going through this, and we looked at Stonehill College, which is in Easton, Mass, and they're a private school, and yeah, when you factored in food and room and board, it was $80,000. Like,
I am so glad
Okay.
that I grew up in a time that was more primitive and we didn't have to pay that much. Well, my parents didn't have to pay that much.
And they always tell you, well, don't. Yeah, it looks like a lot of money. That's just for 1 year. And they always say, well, fill out the financial aid form because you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
When you fill out the financial aid form.
Right.
And maybe you're going to get $75,000 in financial aid. Maybe. It's a possibility. We did not.
Right.
We didn't quite. We got a lot more than I thought, but we still would have had to come up with a good chunk of change, like $40,000, if she wanted to go to Stonehill, and so
Okay.
which is why she's at Bridgewater State right now.
There's nothing wrong with Bridgewater State.
There is nothing wrong with Bridgewater State. That's right. That's right. And it would have been far less money. She got a good chunk. She got a good financial award letter down there as well.
Oh,
So.
she likes it.
So far, except the fire alarms keep going off in the middle of the night in the dorms.
That happens
that
in
the-
my house. for
Is that the
God's
guys
sake.
Still acting up? You were talking about
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they've have I told you that if it doesn't stop,
Yeah.
well, first of all, there was some vandalism.
Right, I
so
remember that.
she's gonna be charged like 50 cents to fix that. But now they said if the fire alarms don't stop,
Mm-hmm.
because every time the fire alarms go off, we have to go out to the Bridgewater Fire Department, and they have to come here, and they don't like coming when there's nothing. Well, obviously,
Right.
they know it's a false alarm, but it costs money from the
course.
fire department to come here.
Right.
If it doesn't stop, we're going to start passing that on to you as well.
Oh, goody.
So
Okay.
your tuition next semester is going to be higher.
Does
Just
everybody?
to take care of that.
Do the students need to evacuate the building?
Yes.
Oh, forget that.
That's the problem. You got to get up, you got to get dressed, or at least put on something warm. It's chilly out. Got to find shoes, and you got to go outside and stand there as you wait for the fire department, who's not rushing because they know
It's
it's
right.
just another trip to Bridgewater State, and we know it's a false alarm, so we'll get there when we feel like it. And so you're standing out in the cold waiting for these guys to show up and ladies to show up, and then they roam around the building looking doing
Now-
what they do.
Are they actual pull the fire alarm type of units, or
Sometimes
are they?
she told me that happened at least once. The other times is burnt popcorn in the microwave.
Okay.
Causes smoke, sets off. She told me another one. Someone pulled the fire extinguisher off the wall. Well, they're bolted in, and they're attached to automatically to the fire alarm.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
if someone
see
pulls this
that.
fire extinguisher off,
It will
it
go off.
immediately goes off.
Mine
Oh, you
went
must
off
be-
with
oh,
steam.
You're fighting a fire. Steam. Yeah.
Steam. Yesterday morning, in fact.
Yeah.
Steam.
Yeah, it all comes. It's if it blocks the sensor
Yep.
enough, that's all that matters. I remember because ours went off one time, and the fire department told us could have been a spider
Exactly.
Oh,
that walked across and cut the beam. And once the beam's cut,
right.
the alarm goes off.
Or a centipede, because
Or
they
a centipede.
have a lot of little.
Yeah. So it's not just smoke that sets these things off. So anything dark that can break
Yep.
the beam, and if you have enough steam, it can be done. So, all right. So yeah, $83,000 to go to the College of the Holy Cross up there in Worcester.
Wow.
So that's what I don't know what Harvard and Yale and Brown are, but they're higher than this. So they might have hit the $100,000 mark.
I'm so glad my daughter is 35. We're done with this.
Well, if she wants to go to school now, she'll have to pay for it herself, right?
Yes. Yes.
Does she have her master's?
No.
Okay, if she wants to go for a master's, well, it's all on you.
Let's not even discuss that.
She can't use you as a.
No, the cash cow
As a
has
bank.
gone back
As
into the
in-
barn.
All right, let's see other things that are happening. We hit all the important stuff.
Who's going to be at Autumn Fest? Who are the headliners?
The two headliners at Autumn Fest this year, Saturday night and Sunday night. And I don't know if Bob will have heard of any of these bands, but it's possible. Saturday night is a band called the Joshua Tree, and they are a U2 tribute band.
Some of us don't know who
This,
you two are, but I won't say
They've been
that.
around since the 80s, Bob. I mean,
You don't know you two either?
You don't? Thank you.
I do.
No,
No,
Bob- no, she does.
I do.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
All right. But, all right. This might be a little more up your alley.
Yeah.
Sunday night is a group called SOS. Stands for Sons of Skinnerd. Leonard Skinner tribute band.
Uh-oh, he still has a deer in
Wow,
headlight look.
this is the 70s.
Man, I was...
I know, starting your career.
Collecting
Yeah, I
stamps.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
I know, right? Wow. We're just...
All right. There is an Elvis tribute. You know Elvis?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
there you
yes.
go.
Old Elvis, not new Elvis.
Well, he does both.
Oh.
You gotta do the all the songs.
Oh, okay.
So you do Hound Dog,
Right.
and you do Suspicious Minds as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and you run the whole gamut because that's what everybody wants.
Okay.
So, there you go.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That deer in headlights
I know.
look is so funny.
I'm not surprised about you two. I'm a little surprised about Leonard Skinner.
I know.
How old were you in 1975?
1975, I was 28.
You had to
you
know.
should have known of
You know
this.
which song he would know? Freebird.
Oh,
You would
Sweet-
need to know that.
He would know Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, that one too.
Anyway,
Okay,
wait a
that
minute.
one I know.
You do. Okay,
Yes.
that's Leonard Skinner.
Okay.
Okay.
And when Gary Smith is on and he has the two songs that he starts
Yes.
off his program with,
Yeah.
I almost always know the two songs. So that's
okay.
a good sign.
You just don't know the bands.
Right.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Some people, oh yeah, I like that song. Oh, I didn't know that was the band.
Yeah.
That did it. One of the best concerts I went to go see was the Moody Blues, and
I took people to a concert for the Moody Blues Providence.
it was in Providence.
I was backstage.
I went to
had
the.
my-
I was at the PPAC. Okay.
No, the one I went to was
Oh.
at the
At the Civic Center.
yeah, but
what
what
do
was it
we-
called then? Now
Amp,
all that
Dunkin'
good
Donuts
stuff.
Center.
They had the back entrance. I
Oh,
was
okay.
I was backstage.
But the Moody Blues is one of those bands, right up your alley, Bob. You go, oh, I know this song. Oh, I know this song. Oh, I know this song.
Right.
Oh, I know this song. And that's the way it was when I went to go see them. Oh yeah, they did this. Oh yeah, they do this. And so they do all their hits, and then the show's over. I said,
Great.
boy, that was a good time. All right, Bob's got to go because he's got to get to court. So we got to get one more message from you there, Bob. We can go with something you come up with, or
I think we better go with whatever you have as a recorded commercial.
All right, let's go with that. Bob, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you next
Thank
Thursday.
you very much. See you both later.
All right, this segment sponsored by attorney Bob Lauder.
When you need a skilled attorney who will fight for your rights, look no further than attorney Bob Lauder of Woonsocket. If your legal questions revolve around estates or trusts, then talk to Bob. If you're contemplating a divorce, then talk to Bob. Attorney Bob Lauder has a calming demeanor, which is very helpful in legal matters. And Bob has more than 40 years' experience practicing law. Call attorney Bob Lauder today at 401-762-4550. 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Hi there, got another email from John Chan at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining, who says, Dave, remember to wish everyone a happy Autumn Fest. John loves Autumn Fest, and he wants to send out his congratulations to Roger and Mitch Savini, Grand Marshals from the House of Chan. Chan is open on Columbus Day weekend, of course, for all your dining and entertainment pleasures. On Friday night, comedy variety show, 8 p.m., $25. Boston top comedian Stacey Kendrow. Magic with the Prince of Mystery and hot music with Jimmy Two Suits Capone and friends Friday night. Saturday night, Little Miss and the Boom at 8 p.m., $15. Chance welcomes the debut of the powerhouse vocals of Little Miss and the Boom, vintage vibe from the modern times with their unique blend of swing, blues, and rockabilly. Karaoke party with WRIK every Thursday from 6 to 9 tonight, and Friday and Saturday from 8 to 11 in the lounge at Chance. 267 Main Street in Woonsocket. And oh yeah, by the way, they serve great food too. Chan's.
Celebrate St. James, CYO, and Youth Ministry in Manville, Rhode Island. In honor of the parish's 150th anniversary, a CYO and Youth Ministry open house reunion will be held on Sunday, October 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. in the parish gym. Reconnect with friends and relive your favorite memories from sports, dances, plays, singing in the choir, and more. For more information, visit stjamesmanville.org. That's SAINT, jamesmanville.org. Don't miss out. Spread the word and celebrate with us.
Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Sue Tessier and McKenzie. Bob Lauder had to go because he had to get to probate court down in Cumberland. So things come up like that. We did get a call in from Dan Rondo down in Florida, but he couldn't stay on the line. He had other things he had to attend to. So those could be emergency situations, and we certainly understand that. And hopefully we can hear from Dan a little later on, and hopefully tomorrow. Another note was called in, 766-1240, and it just to the panel says, Trump says, yes, we have enough monies to house illegal immigrants, but FEMA doesn't have enough funds to help people in Florida. Is this true or just a political ploy? And this is one of those deals, Sue, where I just don't know who's telling the truth. Because Trump says this, FEMA says, we've got plenty of money. and
I
what
don't
he's saying
get
is
it
lying.
either.
And I don't know who's telling
Not
the truth.
only that, but I think you also have to consider so much with AI now how they can, you could take a picture and put that person someplace that they've never been,
Yep.
and claim that that's real and that happened and so on and so forth. It is so difficult to try to decipher what's real, what's not. When I see things that I question, like, well, that doesn't sound right, I will fact check it.
Yep.
And because that's, and maybe that's not infallible either, but at least I'll fact check it. Certain things, man, you wonder.
And you always heard it because it made it onto the news. Oh, the people in North Carolina, they're only getting $750. I'm like, is that true or is
Right.
it not? And I have no way to find out if is that really true. I don't know.
And that might be an immediate payout just to get you some food, some
And maybe more's coming.
hotel, whatever,
Yeah.
type thing. Who knows?
So I don't know. So is it a political ploy? Could be.
Could be.
And just it comes down to who's telling the truth or who do you want to believe?
Yep.
Which side do you want to believe? So
I don't want to believe
I
either
don't
one
know.
of you.
I
I want
don't believe either one of
facts.
you.
I want facts.
That's right. So, well, you didn't think this was going to happen, but apparently it is. What with the legalization of marijuana
Yeah.
around the country, the largest out in California, the largest cannabis delivery company.
Yeah.
They'll deliver it to your home. You don't even have to go out and get it. We'll bring
That's
it. We'll
old
bring it to
news.
you. But they're shutting down.
Oh, come on.
That's what the news part is.
Really?
It's a company called Eaze, EAZE. Eaze was dubbed the Uber of weed,
Wow.
and allowing users to order marijuana on an app from various vendors, and then they'd come and pick it up from the different cannabis places and deliver it to your house. The CEO of Eaze blames challenges in the marketplace. He says they're slowly ending operations and expects a full closure by the end of the year, December 31st. Now, it doesn't go into specifics. Well, what are the challenges?
Right, I'm curious.
I don't know. This follows a foreclosure auction in August for its assets. The new owner could reopen next year, but hasn't decided yet. And the challenges is it like delivering a pizza, where there's certain neighborhoods you don't want to go into. Now you would think if they're ordering it on an app from various vendors, they're already paid for
You
it.
already know who it is. They're already paid for.
So you're just going and like a
Right.
like a DoorDash. They're just dropping it off. You've already paid for it. So these people aren't carrying cash, but if other people know that
dropping
the
dropping DoorDash is dangerous enough when you have
Yeah.
animals taking the food. I saw one with raccoons the other day. But what about dropping weed? Like,
Well, if it's big on the side of your car,
right. Now
so
that's next level.
other people know what you're dropping off, so maybe
Right.
they're stealing it. I don't know. So, and speaking of raccoons, did you see that picture? Oh, I wish I could remember what state it was in. But this woman has 100
I
raccoons.
saw that.
What state was that in?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, please look that up. There's 100 raccoons in her backyard. And, well, it's her fault because, and they always tell you don't feed wild animals.
Yep.
She was feeding the raccoons. Well, the word gets around in the raccoon community. This is where the food is. So more raccoons keep coming. And now they're scratching at her door looking for food. Hey,
It says Washington woman.
Washington State.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, Washington State. Washington.
Okay.
Washington. Yeah, it just says
Okay.
Washington woman.
Had to call 911 to come rescue me. The raccoons have got me cornered in my house. I
Yeah.
can't get out.
I can't leave.
Now, rabid raccoons are an issue. They'll attack. Non-rabid raccoons usually
Right.
leave you alone. But if they're out there scratching at your door, hey, we're looking for food. And these are good-sized raccoons.
Well, we had, or still have maybe, in the sewer system.
Yeah.
You know, with the what do you call it? The drainage.
Yeah.
So across the street from my house, there were 4 of them because you could see the number of eyes. And they would be like this, kind of peeking through the gutter. And so I would, don't be mad at me, but I would kind of feed them. It was
They're gonna
like,
stick
like a
around.
mom and dad and 2 little babies. So I didn't feed them leave them food on my porch.
Okay.
But I would go over and throw like a
throw
couple
bread
of
out
pieces
and-
of bread
Okay.
into like right in front
Where
of the
they are.
sewer.
Yeah.
Like not like no, you don't need to come out. You don't need to
Yeah.
come far. Of course, we have a skunk that walks around our neighborhood too.
Well, they're looking for food too.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking back to legalized marijuana. So this company is closing in California because of whatever marketplace issues they're having. But maybe he should open up in Ohio because things are going well. Sales of recreational marijuana are growing strong in Ohio. The Ohio Division of Cannabis Control is reporting nearly $100 million in non-medical sales during the first 60 days of legal adult use. They saw it coming.
Wow.
Over 120 Ohio dispensaries have been making recreational and medical marijuana sales since early August. So they're a little late to jump on this bandwagon
yeah.
of legalized marijuana in your state. But boy, the Ohio residents were waiting with their money.
Yeah.
and we're ready to go. Makes you wonder, how did Massachusetts did well when they first opened up. Because there were only a few.
There were only a few, but
remember that.
they
And then I wonder how
flood
Rhode
the
Island
market.
did. Yeah.
I think Uxbridge has eight. Excuse me, I take that back. Like 5 of them.
Do they? Yeah, now they're everywhere.
I mean, you could literally. There are 3 that you can literally walk to.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I was not in the limo business, but in working for somebody else in the limo business in Hopkinton, Mass. They wouldn't even let another limo business open unless you could prove that the number of vehicles that my boss had were insufficient to serve the town.
Wow.
And that's what it should be. I mean, look at the little markets on every corner. You know, you're just spreading around the money. Not everybody's making money.
Yeah.
And the same thing with dispensaries. You know, if they specialized in one thing or another, you know, maybe that's the difference. But
remember in Mass, you know, the massive traffic jams and cops had to be called out direct traffic, and because there was only 2 dispensaries.
that was one right here in Uxbridge.
Yeah.
The cops were all there. We had an article in our paper.
Yeah. Okay. Well, things have calmed down from that. So it's not only marijuana making the news. This is out of Southfield, Michigan. And you know, sometimes dealing with the public is not a hoot. And some guy goes into his local Chipotle, orders food, gets his food, but he's not happy. And you know, Chipotle's a Mexican restaurant. He's not happy with his serving of guacamole. I'm going to assume he's thinking, I don't have enough. No one complains that I have too much.
Right.
So he complains. And he calls an employee a derogatory name after he was upset with his serving. And so he attempts to go behind the counter. He's going to get more.
Oh, for the
So
love of God.
another employee comes over, attempts to stop him. So the customer pulls out his gun, shoots the employee in the knee.
Stop it.
So he pled no contest. His name is Aaron Brown. He pled no contest to assault with intent to do great bodily harm and felony firearm. And there were 2 other charges, but they were both dropped. But he pled no contest to these. Like, wow.
That's insane.
It is. And, you know, my first job, I've always said it before, was I worked 2 years at a Burger King. And in Attleboro, by the way, if you want to know. It's still there. And, you know, and we had people that were not often, but disgruntled with whatever they got. And so we just gave him another one.
You know what? I
If
get
you want
disgruntled.
small guacamole, throw another scoop on.
I get disgruntled, okay? I get it.
Uh-huh.
However, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've placed an order at McDonald's and the fries tasted like they were from yesterday.
Yeah, can I have new ones?
I very politely walk in and say, excuse me, but
taste
these
these.
are cold.
Cold. Give me new ones. And
Can
they
I
do.
just get a new one?
No issue.
Why are we getting all rambunctious over freaking guacamole?
You didn't give me enough. I want more.
Unbelievable.
So, and if you don't give it to me, now I'm gonna shoot you. And that seems to be, although he pleaded no contest to it, but yeah. But yeah, we would do that. The fries are cold. Okay.
Give
hang
him a
on.
new one.
We've got. Let me drop some into the oil right now. So give us 2 minutes. I forget how long it took.
Right,
And
whatever
we'll
the
get, We'll give it
case.
to you right out of the oil. And
They
were always
ask
happy.
nice, you give it to them.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story. Move on.
This burger's got onions on it. I didn't want onions on it. Let me get you another one with no
Exactly.
onions on it, and you'll be happy. We didn't make a fit. No, you have to have it.
But
no, you
the-
have
with
to
the
take
with the
what I gave
guacamole
you.
issue, like if your meal comes with the guacamole,
Yeah.
or you bought extra guacamole,
Yeah.
it's got to tell you what size. Side of guacamole, 2 ounces is going to be X
Yeah.
dollars. So what was the case? Was it just you didn't have enough on your original order, or
It doesn't say, but
Yeah.
all I can assume is that he just didn't get enough.
wasn't
of what
happy he
thought
didn't have enough?
wasn't fresh enough. I don't know. Their big thing is we make everything fresh, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. And my daughter sees that all the time because before she started going to school, she was a Dunkin' Donuts person, and the people that come back all the time with the coffee. 'Cause it's just not coffee. Everything's got their own little specifications. There's going to be
course.
3 shots of this and four creams, and and they come back in. I know you only put in 3 creams. How do you know that? I want another one. Give them another one, and they do. So, all right, that'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very
Thank
much. Well, thank you very much for listening in. As always, our thanks to Bob Lotter, who joined us earlier. Hopefully, Bob will be with us next week. Sue, thanks for coming in this week.
Have a good rest of the week and enjoy your long weekend, whether it's Autumn Fest or any other festival taking place throughout the state of Rhode Island.
Very good. I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do your members at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Boston-based Federal Emergency Management Agency Region 1 office is mobilized for hurricane relief response. Region 1 personnel already in Florida providing logistical aid in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene are now gearing up to do the same for those affected by Hurricane Milton. CBS News Boston, that's Channel 4. The reported spokesperson said more personnel and equipment are heading south with food and water